Well, it is time for a proper book review. And I was just going through some of my books the other day, and I found this one that I picked up relatively recently. And actually, it's kind of funny because I picked this up at Half Price Books, one of the Half Price bookstores in the Dallas area. And I originally got this thinking, I just kind of flipped through it real quick, and I mainly got it because I was thinking this was more of a debunking book, like go away, conspiracy bad, don't stay away, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. So I was actually going to dissect it from that perspective, but it's a conspiracy, the shocking truth about America's favorite conspiracies, and this is by the text is by Michael Litchfield, and they acknowledge a whole ton of people here that I don't have time to name in a review. But this was originally from 1992, and so this is 32 years old as of right now. And the fascinating thing about some of these older books like this is they have a perspective that's pre-internet, and sometimes that can be really revealing about on a number of levels. So as you can see, I've done my usual dog earing to this, and what this is almost like an encyclopedia of conspiracies and weird topics. And I love these kind of books just because they're they're a very easy, simple read. I like stuff like this that's kind of broken down into sections where I can just pick it up and read a section, and I don't necessarily have to read the whole thing all the way through at one time for it to make sense. So there's a lot of interesting things in here, like I'll see what I've dog-eared here. There's like the embalmed beef scandal of the Spanish-American War. There's there's a lot of stuff about mysterious deaths. Robert Maxwell is in here. There's this is one. So anyway, it's basically a list of various conspiracies up to that time and mysterious deaths and things like that. And overall, I was surprised. The treatment of this is really well done. It talks about, for some of the people that died mysteriously, it'll offer up a couple of different reasons why this could be a mysterious death or not. Overall, pretty well balanced, pretty well assembled in here. Double Cross in the Desert I found to be especially interesting because this is one of those things that crossed my mind a few times, but they articulated it really well and presented some supporting evidence that the idea that in the Iran-Contra scandal, that when President Jimmy Carter sent a Delta Force raid to rescue the hostages that were in the embassy in 1979, that someone sabotaged that the helicopters so that they couldn't go through with that rescue effort. And I had not heard that said by anybody before, but I did kind of wonder about that just because I remember that with the yellow ribbons around the trees and all. That was when I was in grade school when all of that happened. And when I got older and started looking into the Iran-Contra scandal, it does make one wonder, gee, that's kind of weird that the Delta Force, their whole effort to do this big rescue thing just happened to get subverted by a dust storm, which seems like an oddly, a strange way for a rescue effort that's in desert to get messed up, because how would you not account for that? So that was one of the ones that surprised me. I had not seen anyone openly consider that before. We even have Little Naira's Tale. This is about the incubator baby story. There's Suspicious Death Number 4, Robert Maxwell. So again, really, really good stuff especially for its time. And this caught me by surprise because the cover art had me thinking this was going to be more of a warning against this kind of thinking. Now, the funny thing about a lot of books like this is when you look up the authors who put this together and you look up the companies, a lot of these people are backpedaling really fast trying to undo this. And books like this, I don't think are ever going to get published again, at least not by some of these original authors. This one's kind of hard to pin down who's who in this because this is compiled from a lot of different authors. But this is the kind of thing, it's kind of weird right now that there's an effort afoot to steer people away and say conspiracies are dangerous and, watch out for that. Which, to me, studying conspiracy theories is the study of corruption. So just let's be clear on this. Conspiracies are two or more people discussing committing an illegal act. So a criminal act that is planned out by multiple actors is a conspiracy, and people are prosecuted for that all the time. So conspiracy is not some lofty paranormal thing or some weird urban legend. Conspiracy is something people are prosecuted for all the time. It's just, what is that conspiracy to do? So that term gets used sometimes as a pejorative to kind of steer people away from something, but it's important to understand that conspiracy is a very real charge in criminal court. So anyway, enough about that, but It's a Conspiracy from 1992. Overall, good book, and I did check on Amazon. This one is still floating around out there. You can pick it up relatively cheap. I think I picked this up at Half Price Books for like $3 or $4, but well worth getting. If no other reason, this is a good way to pick up on some of the corruption of the 70s and 80s and before that might have fallen through the cracks and people aren't talking about. And now, thanks to the advent of the internet, you can do a little deeper dive on some of those topics. So anyway, It's a Conspiracy from 1992.